The question is not, can you train a crow to value money? The question is, can you train a crow to understand that object A reliably leads to object B, object A being money and object B being food, and the answer is yes. In 2008, a hacker and researcher named Josh Klein stood at the TED conference and presented what he called a vending machine for crows, a box with a coin slot, a tray, and a mechanism that dispensed a peanut. When a coin was inserted, Klein had spent over a decade studying crow behavior, and he used a four-step training process built on classical Skinnerian conditioning to teach crows to operate it. Step 1. Put coins and peanuts around the machine so crows associate the space with food. Step 2. Remove the peanuts and leave only coins. The crows, frustrated, begin pushing the coins around with their beaks looking for food. When a coin accidentally falls into the slot, the machine dispenses a peanut. Step 3. Remove the coins entirely. Now the crows, having learned that coins in the slot equal peanuts, begin searching the surrounding area for coins to complete the transaction. Step 4. There is no step 4. The crows are already running the economy. Klein's vision extended well beyond peanuts. He talked about deploying trained crow populations for search and rescue, for picking up litter after stadium events, for tasks that use the crow's natural intelligence and mobility, in environments humans find difficult to operate in. He described it as a form of what he called synanthropy, the idea of building mutually beneficial relationships with animals that already live alongside humans rather than working against them. The TED audience was by most accounts genuinely stunned. The experiment itself was conducted with captive crows and later involved some complications around the reporting, but the core mechanism worked. Crows could be trained to associate a physical token with a food reward, and once trained, would retrieve tokens from the surrounding environment to operate the machine. The concept became the CrowBox, an open-source design that anyone can build, and which crow enthusiasts around the world have been testing and documenting ever since. Here is where it gets harder to verify and much more interesting. TikTok and Instagram have, over the past several years, produced a steady stream of creators who claim to have trained their local crow populations to bring back money in exchange for food. Some of these are jokes. Some are genuinely documented across dozens of daily posts. The most convincing ones follow a consistent pattern. The creator begins feeding a local crow or crow group daily, building trust over weeks. Then they introduce an object, a coin, a small bill, sometimes a bottle cap, and reward the crow every time it interacts with the object. Then they stop rewarding interaction and start rewarding retrieval. The crow brings the object and receives food. Over time, the crow begins sourcing those objects independently. One creator posted daily updates of a crow that had learned the exchange system, began finding coins on its own, and eventually brought a $5 bill that had apparently come from the creator's own car. It had left as money and come back as payment, the creator wrote. Not entirely certain whether it was a gift or whether the crow had simply been robbing them and was now laundering the proceeds back through the food exchange. This is funny. It is also a real documented behavior pattern consistent with everything corvid research tells us about how these birds operate. They are not loyal in the sentimental way a dog is loyal. They are loyal in the economic sense. You provide consistent value. They maintain the relationship. You stop providing value. They move on. The Paris angle that circulated online, crows trained to fly through apartment windows carrying euro notes, is harder to pin down to a single documented source and likely grew through the way internet stories do. But the underlying mechanism is real. Whether it is a coin in New York or a note in Paris or a cigarette butt in Stockholm, the training logic is identical, and crows have demonstrated the capability to execute it in documented contexts repeatedly.